Hello and welcome to the most exciting opportunity webinar that I believe is available today, especially with all the craziness going on out in the world, the toilet paper rush, the coronavirus, people being quarantined in their homes. I believe we have the most exciting opportunity of the decade in a long time, probably even more than that. The insurance industry is tried and true in times of economic downturns, recession. And so we are locking the most tried and true opportunity, also one of the oldest industries since there's been a nation, or not a nation, but in our nation, coupled with one of the most exciting and largest work-at-home opportunities that there is. So the work-at-home market is meeting one of the most tried and true industries, and this is what we've come together and have formulated. So we are very, very excited about this opportunity. We are a brand new organization. We're not new to the industry, but we're new to the model. But we have a little bit of data since the last year of October that shows that the goals that we're going to reveal to you in this webinar are very, very achievable for the brand new agent. So rather, instead of talking about everything that we've already accomplished and talking about the numbers that we're able to do, I want to put ourselves in the shoes of the brand new agent, and the goals that we're going to be talking about with this model is going to apply directly to somebody who's just starting out, no additional background, no experience previously. And our goal is to take them in a time span of 5 months to a residual income situation of over $8,000 a month. And then if you couple that residual situation with your own work that we expect you should be able to do monthly in a 5-month period, you should be able to be easily over a $16,000 a month situation. Okay, so let's get started and show you why I believe this is the best model that we have available in the work at home industry. Okay, so this is who we are. We are a group called Fudioha, and what we are is basically a group of agents, of licensed agents that work as a team to build premium and leverage our marketing efforts. And that's all we're doing. We're strong into the teamwork, and everything we do, we leverage as a team. Now, before I talk about the model and the numbers I'm going to be sharing with you is going to be based on really what this video is about. But I just want to say something before I take you through that model, is that the opportunity, what it really is, it's the ability to work virtual, to take care of and help families in a virtual situation. So even if you don't want to apply your insurance license to the model, how we're going to express it to you right now, we can accommodate anybody, anywhere that you want to work. We are able to accommodate you. The platforms we have for selling insurance to the general public is available in any fashion that we have. So if you don't want to apply the strategies that we're going to reveal to you right now, just let us know, because we do have a place for anybody if you just want to be on your own and sell insurance to the general public. Because what I'm going to present to you is going to be a very aggressive growth model that's not going to tie you down. That's not going to keep you away from your family. Rather, it's going to plug into our assembly line teamwork aspect and allow you to grow at a rapid rate without having to get bogged down with training, with the pains of growing an organization. That being said, if you want to be a one-man band, that's totally fine. And we will give you the tools and the training also to show you how you can also just be a virtual one-man band and sell insurance to the general public. So please, if you don't like the model that you see here, just mention that to the person who invited you to this webinar and say, hey, I like the virtual model, but I don't really like how you guys are applying it. Is there any other way that we can do this virtually? The answer is yes, and we will show you how that works. But please stay with me as best as you can through this model, because this is what's really going to get you into the residual situation that will allow you to get to that $8,000 a month residual, $8,000 plus in the residual situation in a 5-month span. Okay, so that's the short-term goal right now, is 5 months. Okay, so that's why we called it 5 months to residual success. And that's residual, meaning you're off on vacation, you're off with your family, you're doing something else, and that 8 grand continues to come. Now, if you're still applying your own pin to your residual situation, then that 8 grand becomes easily 16,000 plus a month. Now imagine if we're hitting that in 5 months, what we'll be able to do in 12 months and 24 months. It's a retirement income capability. And that's what keeps us optimistic about the future, even though, yes, right now we're in hard times. We're being challenged right now as a nation. But I think this is one of the reasons. The work-at-home industry is going to be one of the reasons why we're going to be able to pull out of this, folks. But let's continue. So the products that we present, very basic. If you are life licensed, that's where our focus is going to be. But I do want to say that a lot of instances, if you're dealing with businesses, if you're dealing with organizations that want one person to be accountable for all the insurance needs, we can cover that, even though what I'm going to be talking about really is going to deal with the life license. So that being said, what we really are targeting is the simplified issue products, whole life, term, index universal life, and fixed index annuities. And that's going to be our focus. However, we do bridge over into the fully underwritten products as well. If we need to be more competitive, we can definitely cover that and take you into that space as well. So carriers we represent. Now I'm just going to show you a handful of carriers, 4, I think 5 maybe carriers that we represent. However, we have access to over 500 carriers. Now on the life side, it's probably going to be about 200 or 300, but we're going to focus on just a handful of simplified issue products because we don't need you to go get contract with every single carrier out there. We are designing this opportunity to work nicely with any current success you have right now. So we don't want you to go slap your boss and say, see you later, I found an opportunity. No, we're actually reaching out to people that are already currently working and that can come on board with us part-time. If you have a 4-hour work week, that's who we're looking for. A wise man once said, if you want something done, give it to a busy person. So we're looking for you. We're looking for the busy people, but we're also looking for people that maybe aren't so busy but get what we are doing and to come on board. So the carriers we're really representing is United Home Life, great company for our simplified issue term with returner premium and final expense portfolio. And of course, American Amicable through Occidental and their book of business. National Life Group is going to be one of our main carriers for the IULs, for the $2 million face simplified issue products. Americo is excellent. They have great marketing, ready, set campaigns. And of course, right now they're promoting the stop smoking, non-smoking rated for smokers that are wanting to quit smoking, and many others. Great companies. And of course, Foresters. We love Foresters. And if you've had a license for a while, I'm sure you're probably already contracted with them. And so you're familiar with these companies are just been around for a long time. They're A-rated, and that's really who we deal with and who we're going to be focusing our efforts on, but we're not limited to them. So if you guys are already contracted and have these 180 AP, I don't know if there's contract levels that high, but if you have really high contract levels and you don't want to mess with those, that's okay. Let's talk and let's get you contracted with some carriers that we can work with, and let's move forward in our virtual model. So we built this to address specific challenges in the industries. One of them is the chargebacks, especially for new part-time agents with limited income. So the chargebacks can be an issue because, as you know, there's a national average for chargebacks is about 10%, and the average lifespan of a policy is about 6 to 9 months. Most agents that have a life license are using their license to supplement their income. So what that means, if you're a brand new agent that got a license because you want some additional income, and you're only writing a handful of policies a month, 4 or 5, 10 policies a month, you fall into that risk category of getting a chargeback early in your career. And if it's your first or second or third or fourth policy that you write ending up in a chargeback, a lot of times that can wash you out of the insurance industry. So that's another kind of pain point that we're targeting. And if you're going to dabble in the insurance career, I mentioned a 4-hour work week, you're not going to walk in and slap your boss, then you're going to be doing this very part-time. How do you dabble in the insurance industry without falling to this risk category? And this is what we're going to explain. And this is the one of the pain points that we are going to solve with our model. Another pain point is getting good leads. Leads can cost $300 to $500 a week or more in the traditional model. I know when I was out in the field, I was easily spending, $1,000 to $3,000 a month on mailers. Okay. Now there was ROI, but we really worked hard for that ROI. Talking about dialing for hours on the phone on end and sending appointments over the phone, spending hours locked in a room trying to set appointments, and then of course driving for hours. A lot of times these appointments weren't even in the same city. I was driving an hour and a half, 2 or more, sometimes 4 hours away to get to an appointment. And mercy, sometimes when these appointments would no-show me, it builds some character. I'll tell you that. Travel time, of course. My gas alone was $400 a month or more easily. So this is, if you're come from the traditional industry where you've been traveling to your appointments, then your gas alone can easily go over $400 a month. Not to mention your wear and tear in the vehicle. I think I put over 40,000 miles on my vehicle when I bought it brand new the first year into this industry. So these are main pain points of being of the traditional career. Of course, when you do well, you do really well. So all this is worth it. If that's the only way that we had available to sell insurance, I would still be doing it. It's still a great industry. But technology has allowed us to transcend this model and to leverage our time much more. When you don't have to spend that windshield time, there's just so much more that we can get done. Of course, then there's entering dangerous neighborhoods to meet clients or potential clients. That does happen. There are some horror stories out there. I don't think that people are getting attacked every single day, but it does happen, especially if you're, vulnerable for whatever reasons. You might be vulnerable. This can be something that can be a pain point with that traditional model. So our solution is a virtual office. And now, guys, what we're facing as a country, our hands are being forced. If you don't adapt to a virtual model, we're not going to be doing this anymore. So we've started this not as a response to what we're dealing with. We were already ahead of the game, I guess, thinking virtually about a year ago, moving into this, and then really stepped into the field, implementing the virtual model since late October, not as a company the way we're organized now, but with another IMO, and we picked up what we learned from there. And you caught us at the perfect time where we just organized as a new company and moving forward. So exciting times, guys. Okay. So our solution to that is no more spending money or time in travel. Everything can be done online from anywhere as long as there is a good internet connection. No more having to enter questionable neighborhoods to meet with potential clients. Not having to drive to appointments will greatly improve your productivity and reduce your expenses. It's amazing. I was amazed how much extra time I had when I no longer had to spend that windshield time to be productive, to have money-making activity, when you don't no longer have to be driving all over the place. So our solution for good leads on this model. Leads are obtained at the beginning of 2 ways. 1, we're using a platform called PhoneBurner. And 2, we pull our money together with other agents to do co-ops using services such as Indeed, ZipRecruiter, and other types of job platforms, job-seeking platforms. And we'll give you some details on this video later. But of course, using social media as well as LinkedIn. But really, the main takeaway here is, everything on the internet doesn't work forever. You have to zig and zag. So the main takeaway is that we are working as a team to pool our marketing budget together and to share those leads. And when you do that, you can operate at a much, much lower overhead and yield stronger, much higher, more qualified leads. So we've been able to consistently supply around 20 high quality leads per week, sometimes with just one option, but the safest is to use both options, which is PhoneBurner and the co-ops. In the past, we've been able to do that even just with one of the 2 options. This past couple weeks, from the coronavirus, we did see one of our campaigns fall down to about half. But when it was coupled with both of them, we were still able to really exceed the 20 highly qualified prospects every single week. So when we're talking about prospects, we're talking about 20, not a month. We're talking about 20 a week plus. All right. So if you're talking to 20 highly qualified inbound prospects every single week, then you can expect that if you have a good system like we do, that you can be able to really be productive with those kinds of numbers coming in, especially when you're not having to spend additional time on the phone trying to set appointments. Because these 20 prospects that come in, these are appointments set. They're waiting for you to reach out to them. They're on your calendar saying, hey, I want to know more. And they're leaving voice messages on our voicemail saying, hey, I'm 10. My interest level is a 10. From a 0 to 10, my interest level is a 10. Please call me. Those are the kind of leads that we're dealing with. So the cost for phone burner is $115 a month, and the co-op is variable, but typically they're around $200 a month. Together, that would be $335 a month. Now, we've been able to run co-ops, when we group them with other agents for even less than that, but they're average about $200 a month on the co-op campaigns. So our solution to the chargebacks. So your life insurance policy is at the basis of your earning power. So why would a successful agent cancel their policy? Never going to happen. Okay, so I'm giving you little tidbits of how we're solving the chargeback ratio. So and I'm going to explain a little bit later in this video is why would an agent buy a policy from another agent in your campaign? And that's because it has to do with contract level they're able to start. Now, nobody has to. You don't have to buy a policy to work with us. You can come on in. If you have no money, if you can't buy a policy, or you already got too much insurance, no problem. Let's get to work. But we definitely do reward agents to come on board. And when they become a product of the product, we reward you by giving you higher contract level starting out. So most agents, they do come on board getting a policy. And the reason that is when you come from the background of spending over $1,300 a month to buy leads, drive around, and wear and tear on your vehicle, and then you present an overhead where you're spending $400 to $535 a month and talking to 20 highly qualified leads every week, that's a no-brainer. So a policy falls into that overhead, and I'm going to explain a little bit more. Now, check with your CPA or tax consultant, because I'm not a CPA, but when you do this, when you buy a policy from another agent and it's for your business, a lot of times you can deduct that in your taxes, but do check with your CPA and also see that that's not going to have a negative implication on the taxability to the beneficiary on the death benefit. But we've been able to do that. Like we've spoken with our CPA, and yes, we are able to write off the premium on our policy to be able to achieve this. So this is the shortest route to profit that we've seen, and also one of the easiest types of leads that you'll get to work with, in my opinion. So when you come on board, you buy a $3,600 a year policy, meaning premium, $300 a month, and you'll be immediately set at the 75% street level contract. Okay, so that's how you get to that street level contract, and then you sell. Once you do that, you sell a $3,600 a year policy to another agent that also wants to maximize their opportunity, giving you an immediate commission of around $2,000, all right? And then your monthly business expenses will run from $420 to $535. This includes the cost of your life insurance policy, by the way. So you are well into the profit after your first sell. And guys, if you're 40 years or younger, and this is just my opinion, but if you're 40 years or younger, I believe you should have an IUL. An IUL, especially those of you now that have had their money in the 401ks, guys, they've lost a lot of money. An IUL, you don't lose your principal. You get to ride the upturns of the market, but any downturns, zero is your hero. You don't lose that money. So, that can easily supplement your retirement when you have a decent economy going on. And if you don't have a decent economy, well, you don't lose and you're still anchored by that death benefit. So when you get a policy for your business, are you really paying that money, or are you leveraging yourself to have money available if anything happens? Okay, so that's something that you might want to think about, because you're trading or renting income, if you will. It's not an investment. I'm not an investor, but it's insurance. It's life insurance. That's what it does. You're not wasting or throwing money away. You have the right to be protected by even more income. And so when you're young and you have a product that gains cash value, and you're also tying that to maximize your business opportunity, that's a win-win, guys. That's just a no-brainer, especially if you're younger. Okay. So anyway, didn't mean to get too sidetracked there, but you will spend really about $120 to $235 a month to get around 80 good leads a month. Okay. So out of 80 highly interested, motivated prospects, how many do you think you could close? Okay. So do you think you might be able to do 4 of those? I think you absolutely can. I think the answer is a resounding yes, especially because we do that as a team. New agents that come on board do not have to do presentations. We have other trained senior agents that do the presentations for you. All you got to do is invite them to the presentations. I'm going to show you how easy that is, which is another reason what makes our opportunity so much more powerful, because guys, in our method, in our business, the work that you're going to be doing, remember I said 4-hour work week? It's like, how are you going to sell insurance with only 4 hours a week? Well, it's because all we're doing, guys, is texting these leads, and these are interested prospects. All right, we're sending them a text. You may not be excellent in an in-home presentation, or you might be awesome. But even if you are awesome and you're trying to grow an organization, the next agent that you hire may not be so awesome. But everybody can be awesome at sending a text. So that's all we really need you to do. That's the activity that we need you to do, is to be able to send a lead a text. That makes this very duplicatable and very, very powerful. Okay, now I'm going to show you some other alternatives to start. So if you don't want to buy a policy to get on board and get the 75 contract, that's okay. You don't need to spend any money to come on board. But if you can see the value of operating a business at a $400 to $500 a month to talk to 20 highly motivated prospects a week, it's just kind of a no-brainer. Get yourself a policy, get extra protection, and maximize your opportunity here. But here are the other alternatives. Let's say you come on board, you don't want to get a policy, you just come on board, right? You'll start with a 45 contract, and then you'll be required to sell 10,800 of annual premium at a 45 to then get promoted to the 75 contract. The other option is you purchase a $100 a month policy, then you sell 7,200 of annual premium at a 45 contract, and then go to 75. And then the other option is you want to get a $200 a month policy, then you sell 3,600 of annual premium at the 45 contract, then get to 75. Or you can do what we term fast track. You just take ownership of $300 of premium a month, and you'll be immediately promoted to the 75 street level contract to start. All right. Now that $300 a month of premium can be in one policy, it can be 2 policies, it can be a policy on yourself, it can be a policy on a loved one. It can be a term, a whole life, an IUL. It can be final expense, whatever. It can be a combination thereof. And so we'll go over those quotes with you. If you decide, hey, I just want to start at the 75, let's do the policy, let's get the leads, let's go to work. Then we'll quote you, we'll work with you to see what's the best policy to meet that fast track criteria. But if you're not there, we want suitability to meet the opportunity. We don't want you to spend your last $300, guys, to come on board at 75. All right. We do have other alternatives that we can talk about, but that you need to qualify for and you need to talk to your sponsor about. But the max percent really depends on the carrier. Now this needs to be updated. It's no longer 110 to 120. We actually going to go all the way up to 145 with most of our carriers. That's going to be with, I believe, a National Life Group, Americo, United Home Life, and there's going to be a few others that will be able to get up to that 140, 145 contract. So I apologize about that 110 to 120. That's not accurate. We're actually going to be able to ride up a lot higher. There will be some carriers, though, that we won't be able to cross beyond that, but those aren't going to be the carriers that we are going to be hitting hard. The carriers that I listed earlier in this presentation, we're going to be able to go up to the 140s, 145 on contract level. Some of the highest contracts in the industry. Okay, so I do apologize again for that typo, but I hope that's clear that we're going to blow by those contract levels, and that's going to be a huge advantage to us. So here's a roadmap. This is how I recommend that you engage with this opportunity. So work with other agents until you have enough working capital to engage in more complex campaigns to sell to the general public. So as I previously mentioned, we have a model where you can start talking to 20 highly motivated prospects every single week plus for about a $400 overhead, and that includes the cost of $300 a month of premium and starting at a 75 contract. Okay, so for $400 to $535 a month, you can work with other agents and to get to a point for about 5 months to where you can afford more complex campaigns to then reach out to the general public. Guys, we don't just want to sell insurance to agents. We want to sell to everybody. We want to protect families, in the whole country, not just other agents. And again, I'm just going to go back to what I said in the beginning of the video. If this model doesn't suit your flavor, let us know. If you just want to start selling to the general public and you need the tools to do that, we have them. So just mention to your sponsor, hey, I want to know about the other model. But guys, you probably are shooting yourself a little bit in the foot, because if you want to get into the residual, into the passive income, working with other agents is the best way to both grow your team and your operational income, so you can diversify yourself more. Okay, so we do that for about 5 months, and then we start managing campaigns that bring in leads of interested prospects from the general public that we can give to our newest agents to fulfill their premium requirements. So let me give you an example. So let's say you're working, the first 5 months with other agents, you're building your team. With this model, by the end of 5 months, you should be easily making over $8,000 a month. Then you can plug into a campaign that actually sets annuity appointments for you in the home or virtual, however you want to do it. These are annuity set appointments. Those campaigns range about $3,000 a month, all right, for annuity set appointments. So you could go out there, do one fast track on an agent for $2,000, then do one more for $4,000, keep $1,000 for yourself. You could probably do that in a couple weeks. After, having an active writing number, it doesn't take that long to do it. It could take a couple weeks, it could take a month, but really doesn't take that long when you're talking to 80 prospects, interested prospects a month. All right, so 2 sales, $4,000 in your pocket, put $3,000 right back in and start talking to annuities. It could be that soon, or you could just focus working with other agents and wait till 5 months till you're making that passive income, and then plug into those annuity set appointments that I'm telling you about, and start diversifying right away. Or we could get you on a program, like I said, that just starts focusing on the general public. You just want to see how well you can sell insurance, and then think about growing a team. That's okay too. But this is how we get paid. So with our program, we're not going to adulterate the override the way the insurance carriers made it. We believe in direct carrier contracting. That's how you're going to get paid. We're not going to hold your money for you. We're not going to get between the carrier and your bank account. So you're going to get contracted directly with the carrier, so you can get paid much, much faster. Especially when I mention that, I'm talking about the simplified issue products and the carriers that I mentioned before. That's going to be all direct carrier contracting. Okay, so you're going to get paid to infinity based on the volume and the difference between your contract level and the agent nearest to you contract level. That's how you get paid. So in this example, you're at a 90 contract, okay? And the agent closest to you is at an 85, all right? So that gives you what? A 5-point spread. So if you're at 90 contract and the agent nearest to you is at an 85, you're going to make 5% on all the volume going down. Okay? So let me show you how powerful those numbers are. And I'm just going to pull my calculator out for you so you can see. So with our program, guys, we believe as long as you're plugged in to a campaign, one of the two campaigns I mentioned to you, phone burner or a co-op with other agents, there's absolutely no reason why you cannot grow by the rate of 3 new agents a month that buy a policy from you for $300 a month. All right, there's just no reason why, as long as you're plugged into a campaign, either phone burner or a co-op. So I'm just gonna go real quick here. By month 5, following this model, growing at the rate of 3 a month, by month 5, you already have 48 agents. And if you only have a 5% spread, that's it, not 10. Now, keep in mind that some organizational legs, you're going to have a 10% spread, a 15% spread, a 20% spread, 25% spread, 30% spread. I'm just talking about a 5-point spread. All right. So at the end of 5 months, you have 48 agents. Let's say those 48 agents can only do one. All right, one fast track a month using this model. That will be 160 times 48. Okay, I did that wrong. My math is not right there. That says 7,680. So let me see. That's going to be, it's 180. 180 times 48. 8,640. That's your income monthly. And that's if those 48 agents can only do one a month. Only one. If these guys can do 2 a month, well, now you're over $17,000 in just residual income. And if they can do 3, the numbers just start getting stupid. So that's why we're going to keep it very conservative, 5-point spread, 48 agents only able to do 1 a month. But guys, remember I said we can do 3. We should be able to do 3 as long as everybody's plugged in to some kind of marketing. Now, that's one way that you could multiply your residual, by either your agents performing more than just 1 a month, or you could go out there and grab a wider spread. So let's just say that your closest agent to you was at a 75 contract and you're at a 90. Well, now you're at a 15% spread. All right. So it just gets, bigger from there. And this is the model. This is how you're going to get paid out. This is how you're going to be able to get generational income. The reason we're going to stick with this model because it allows us to support our agents in depth. We've worked with other IMOs where once you get past your second or third level, you start losing financial viability, and it became a temptation to not support the agents in depth. Here, you can support depth, still maintain financially viable, and that's why we stuck to this structure, because it allows us to maintain support for the newer agents, the newest agents coming on board. All right. So that's just a kind of a quick 101. I think most of you that are veteran agents already know that how that structure works. But once you decide to join, what do you do next? Okay. You'll be connected to our contract specialist, and he or she will send you the invitation to contract with United Home Life, Occidental, which is American Amicable, and National Life Group. All right, that's where everything starts. If you're already contracted with them, you can try to get a release. And if that does not work, we have many other companies you can contract with. So just let your inviter know, just let us know, hey, I got a high contract with Americo. Can we do something else? Or I already got a high contract with National Life Group, or I'm already doing something with United Home Life. Do you have any other carriers that like the model? And we'll work with you. All right. So definitely we can get it going. So let's just do a little clarification with the model. You do not have to bring in other agents under you to work with us. All right. You can just sell insurance, taking advantage of our lead programs and virtual business plan. If that's the model that you're interested in doing, talk to your inviter and we'll show you. We'll do a screen share with you and we'll show you what other tools we have to let you to leverage our virtual platforms and start selling insurance to the general public. Not a problem. We'll work with you no matter what, because that is a real opportunity, guys, is to be able to work virtually, and it's great. It's a great opportunity doing it that way as well. But if you bring in 100 agents to work under you, if they do not sell insurance, You will make no money from the fact that you just recruited them. This is not, you don't get paid for recruiting. You get paid for premium here, for insurance products being sold by yourself or in your organization. I think you guys already know that, but we have had a couple people ask. So we're just clarifying that. In contrast, if you have 10 agents working under you and they do not bring any more agents to work under them, but they start selling insurance to the general public, you'll make good money because then you start, selling premium and there's premium being moved through your organization and you start making money. So that's a goal, guys. We got licensed to protect families. So the way we're going to get paid is when premium is being moved. All right. In summary, the only activity or action that will bring in money is selling insurance. If the agents under you are selling insurance, you will have a passive income. Note, we have excellent lead sources for getting agents and for selling insurance to the general public. However, the leads for the general public are more expensive than the leads to bring in agents. For this reason, we recommend starting with leads for agents. And if they join, get them selling right away. So that's the goal, guys. And the model is proving itself in the short amount of time that we're here. It's been a challenge getting reorganized as a new company, but it's also been very, very rewarding. And we are launching. You caught us at a time that is ground floor with our company implementing this model. And some of the new, brokers that we bring on board, they're just wanting to know what the heck are we doing? How are we growing daily with new agents? And it's because we're implementing such a simple strategy. But we've also been able to get approval to implement our contract levels in the beginning so that we can move premium working with other agents and then leverage ourselves to reach out to the general public. So it's only getting better and better, guys. And we're getting better at our craft. We'd love to work with you no matter how you decide. If you just want to be one-man band, and we will help you. We'll get you plugged in. Let's get to work. And if you like the model and want to work with other agents, but you don't want to buy a policy, no problem. Let's get you to work. And by the way, we do have something that's called Plan B that you need to qualify for. I forgot I need to clear that up. And that's the example is, let's say that you're stuck with your last $100 or $200, but that's all you have. Guys, we don't want you to go buy a policy if that's your last money. All right. But we have something that you can qualify for that will allow you to release some money from the insurance carriers towards your business that you need to qualify for. So if you want to know what that is, talk to your sponsor and we can see if that's something that you might be able to qualify for. But we are looking for suitability as we are doing this. So that's why we have so many ways to get started. So just talk to us and let's clarify this. If you have some questions, that's okay too. And we can move forward from there. Our recommendation is that when you have a monthly income of around $8,000, then begin buying the leads for the general public. It's much easier to engage in these campaigns that put us in front of the general public when there's more operational income. So that's the only reason why we decided to do it that way, because it kills two birds with one stone. It allows us to grow our agencies, but it allows us to leverage ourselves to then protect other families, guys. So in summary, reasons for joining and doing business this way is you have a steady stream of 20 to 60 or 20 to 80 very interested, highly motivated prospects every week at a very reasonable cost. Could you close 4 of those, especially as a team? I think that's yes. Don't have to spend time and money on the road to appointments which may cancel or no-show. No entering dangerous neighborhoods to meet with potential clients. And this becomes your business, which you can sell or pass on to family members if you choose. One of our agents recently sold his organization. Okay, well, this is with a previous IMO, so I apologize for this last slide. This was not with our newly formed company. This was recently before, but this is something definitely that could happen in the near future as we grow. So the 4th bullet point, guys, yes, this becomes your business and it is your book of business. But the example of the $8 million did not happen with our company. But I believe it will happen really soon. Maybe it's going to be you. But chargebacks definitely have been reduced to almost none when we work with agents in this fashion. That is a tried and true. Even during our transition from our previous IMO to here, most of our agents are still with us. I want to say that I don't think we've even had a chargeback yet from bringing agents over from that model to this model, and they've been very patient, and it hasn't been the easiest transition, but now we're ready to go and rock and roll with this thing. So we look forward to chatting with you, and of course, we're looking forward to building an excellent retirement income with you on board with us. Powerfully simple, and we'd love for you to join us. Guys, thanks for sticking out, coming around and learning more about us and taking the time. We know your time is valuable, so we are definitely looking forward to speaking with you. Have a blessed day, and look forward to chatting with you very, very soon.